Hi everyone, we are once again doing Clues by Sam. It is a beautiful, sunny, and cold day here where I live, so I'm hoping to go out and enjoy it. But before we do that, we are gonna do this hard one that we have today. If you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily logic puzzle game where you have 20 people on a board. They may be criminals or innocents, and they give you a clue to help you figure out who is what, and it changes in difficulty every day. If you want to play the game before watching, you can check the link in the description, but I already see Adam's clue and I'm going to start now. So Adam tells us that exactly 2 of the 3 innocents below Emily are Karen's neighbors. So Emily, who is here, has 3 innocents below her. There's 3 people total below her. So we know that all of them are innocents. Okay, that isn't hard at all. And 2 of them are Karen's neighbors, but that doesn't matter. Now Jerry tells us that both innocents below Diane are connected. Okay, Diane has 4 people below her, so that's a different scenario. And we know that both of them are connected, but there's no way for us to figure out any of them yet, because it may be both Isaac and Martin, or Martin and Sue, or Sue and Zara. Now Noah tells us that there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Karen. Okay, Karen again. Karen has 8 neighbors total. We already know that 2 of them are innocent, so that leaves us with 6 people, and an odd number of them have to be criminal, so that may be 5 or 3 or 1, but we still don't know. Now Tyler tells us that exactly 1 innocent below Diane is neighboring Henry. Okay, Diane has 2 innocents below her, but one of them neighbor Henry, who is in the column letter C. So one of the innocents has to be Isaac and Martin. Since we know that both innocents below Diane are connected, it could either be... No, it can't actually. It can't be both Isaac and Martin, because then it would mean that Tyler's clue is wrong, because only one of the innocents is neighboring Henry. So it has to be Martin. And since both innocents are connected and the other one cannot neighbor Henry, it has to be Sue. So Sue is our second innocent below Diane. And since we knew that there are 2 innocents below Diane total, right? Both innocents below Diane tells us that there's 2 innocents below Diane. So we know that Isaac is a criminal and Zara is also a criminal. Wow, that's quick. We don't need Jerry's clue anymore, or Tyler's, but we're gonna keep Noah's. Now Martin tells us that exactly 2 of the 5 innocents neighboring Henry are below Brian. Okay, so we know that Henry has 5 innocents neighboring him among the 8 total neighbors that he has. We know about 1 of the innocents, so we need 4 more, but 2 of them are below Brian. And there's only 2 people below Brian who neighbor Henry, so both of them have to be innocent. And that's 3 of the 5 innocents total, so we have 2 more to figure out. But now we also have 1 more innocent neighboring Karen, so that's 3. What else? Sue's telling us that Brian and Zena have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Okay, so we know that Zena has to have 5 innocent neighbors. Is that it? Oh no, I was thinking about Henry. But the clue is talking about Brian. So we still don't know. We still don't know. Zara tells us that only 1 of the 5 innocents neighboring Flora is in row 2. Okay, so Flora also has 5 innocents, so that's today's theme. Flora has 5 innocent neighbors, and 1 of them is in row 2. So that tells us that either Emily or Henry are innocent, and the other one is a criminal. Now Flora also has 1, 2, 3 more innocent neighbors, which also tells us that either Brian or Cheryl are gonna be an innocent and the other one a criminal, so that Flora's neighbors can total 5 innocents. Right? So, what do we know now? We know about Henry's innocent neighbors. He has 5 of them. 3 are already discovered, I guess. Flora, Karen, and Martin. So that's 3. There's gonna be one more here who's either gonna be Brian or Cheryl. So that's 4. To total 5, either Larry or Diane have to be the 5th innocent. Lots of tagging. What does that help us with? Does it help us with knowing about Brian's number of innocent neighbors? Well, we know that Brian has 2 innocent neighbors already, and he may have one more here. I mean, he must have one more here. So that's 3 total. Cheryl might be a 4th one. And who's sharing innocent neighbors, or the total of innocent neighbors with him? Bram. Zena. Oh, interesting. So Zena has 1 criminal neighbor already, which means that Brian can't have, or does it? I mean, Brian will have 1 criminal neighbor here. If Cheryl is a criminal, then Zena has to have 1 more criminal neighbor, which is possible. So that doesn't solve anything yet. Oh, we know that there's an odd number of criminals neighboring Karen, so let's look at that. Karen has 3 innocent neighbors so far. She's gonna have 1 more here, so that's gonna be 4. And 1 criminal neighbor. She may have, oh, I'm gonna have to tag even more. She may have another criminal neighbor here, who's gonna be Larry. That's 2, which makes it so either Olivia or Pam have to be a criminal, or if Larry is an innocent, then both Olivia and Pam have to be innocent as in. Is it? Both of them have to be innocents? Yeah, because then only 1 criminal is possible. But we still don't know about that yet. Exactly 2 of the 5 innocents neighboring Henry are below Brian. Yum. Brian and Zena have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Yeah. Do I have to do tagging? Only 1 of the 5 innocents neighboring Flora is in row 2. Flora has 5 innocent neighbors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so we know that Larry is for sure a criminal. Because Flora is gonna have 1 more innocent neighbor here and 1 more innocent neighbor here. Or why would that be? Why would that be? Have I tagged it wrong? Because why? Flora has 5 innocent neighbors. 3 of them we know about already. So 1, 2, 3. There's gonna be 1 more in row 2, so that's 4. Why did I tag Ryan and Cheryl as one or the other? When Larry could be an innocent. think I did this wrong. I think I did this wrong. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, 4 with someone from here. So we need a fifth one. 5 innocent neighboring flowers in row 2. It may be Larry. Is it because of Brian? No. Five innocents also neighbor Henry. So Henry has to have 2 more innocent neighbors. I guess we know for sure that Diane is a criminal. Why? Henry has to have 2 more. And Flora has to have 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, Flora has to have 1 more. So I guess we know that Diane is an innocent. Do we? Let's try tagging this so we can make sense of it. If it doesn't matter if Emily or Henry are an innocent, because that isn't gonna affect Henry in any way, because Emily is not one of Henry's neighbors, but all of the others are. So the last innocent neighbor of Flora's is gonna be shared with Henry. So there's gonna be 1 innocent here and 2 criminals in any configuration. Now, how many innocent neighbors does Henry have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And he needs 5 total, right? Martin tells us that there's 5 innocent neighbors in Henry, so we know that Diane is an innocent. That took me a while. What else do we know? Let's try to combine Karen's clue with that now, because we know that Karen has an odd number of criminal neighbors. And she's gonna have 1 of them here. If Larry is a criminal, then she has 2 innocent. Then she has 2 criminal neighbors, and Olivia or Pam have to be a criminal to have an odd number. If Larry is an innocent, both Olivia and Pam have to be innocent as well. So I guess we don't have enough information for that. So do we need to think about Brian and Zena? Brian and Zena have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Brian and Zena have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Oh, we have to cross that with Karen, do we? That's a lot. That's a lot to do. Zena may have... It might happen that Zena has 2 criminal neighbors. If that first situation poses itself. Because if this happens, there's only gonna be 1 innocent here, right? Among Brian, Cheryl, and Larry. Let's say it's Brian. Just so we can prove Zena's situation. If it's Brian, now Brian has 2 criminal neighbors. Zena has to have 2 as well. But Karen has an odd number of criminal neighbors. She has 2 here. So she can only have 1 more, which has to be Olivia or Pam. So now Karen has 3 criminal neighbors. And Will has to be an innocent. Now Karen has 3 criminal neighbors, which is an odd number. Flora has 5 innocent neighbors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Henry has 5 innocent neighbors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do Zena and Brian have an equal number of innocent neighbors? 1, 2, 3. Brian, 1, 2, 3. Okay, everything's fine in here, with Brian being an innocent. Now let's try to make Brian a criminal. If that's so, Cheryl has to be an innocent. Now this scenario is broken, because Larry has to be a criminal, which means that Karen has to have 1 more criminal neighbor down here to make an odd number. But now Zena and Brian don't have the same number of criminal neighbors or innocent neighbors, because now Zena has 3 of them and Brian has 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not possible for Zena to have 4, because there has to be a criminal here. So I know that Cheryl has to be a criminal. If Cheryl is a criminal and Brian is also a criminal, Larry is then an innocent. If Larry is an innocent, both Olivia and Pam have to be innocent, because Karen needs an odd number of criminal neighbors. And she has 1 here. If any of those people, either Olivia or Pam, are criminal, Karen would have an even number of criminal neighbors. So both Olivia and Pam have to be innocent. Now in this situation, Flora has 5 innocent neighbors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Henry as well. Now Brian has 1 number of innocent neighbors, 1, 2, 3. And Zena has 1, 2, 3. Will may be a criminal. That will make it work. So what did I find out there? Because I proved something. I just don't know what. Cheryl can either be a criminal or an innocent. But Brian has to be a criminal, always. Is that it? Because if I switch Cheryl and Larry, now Brian has 3 innocent neighbors. 4. Sorry, I forget. Karen has to have 1 criminal here. And Zena may have 3, but not 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no, Cheryl can't be an innocent. The confusion. Now we know that either Brian or Larry are an innocent and the other one a criminal. But we don't know about these people yet. Or do we? Or do we? Yes, we don't. Now Cheryl, let's talk about her. There's an equal number of criminals in rows 4 and 5. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So much information. There's an odd number of criminals neighboring Karen. And we know that if Larry is a criminal, Karen has to have one more criminal neighbor down here to have an odd number, which is going to be 3. Now Will has to be an innocent and Zena 2. Because rows 4 and 5 have to have the same number of innocents or criminals. But if Larry is an innocent and Brian a criminal, that couldn't be possible because now Karen has to have both Olivia and Pam as innocent neighbors. And that will make it so it's impossible for rows 4 and 5 to have the same number of criminal neighbors, since now row 4 has no criminals. So Larry is for sure a criminal and Brian is an innocent. Good. And now we know that someone here is a criminal. Either Olivia or Pam. But that also tells us that there's only one criminal in row 4, so someone here has to be a criminal, and it has to be Zena, right? Because Brian has 2 criminal neighbors and Zena has to have 2 criminal neighbors. I mean, they have the same number of innocent neighbors, but since they have the same total of neighbors, it doesn't matter. So Brian has 3 innocents, Zena has 1, 2 innocents, so Will has to be an innocent and Zena a criminal. Why didn't the game let me do it? Oh, I was wrong. Zena has to be an innocent. Oh my god. Wrong logic. I knew the right thing, I just wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I guess we don't need Sue's clue anymore. We don't need Martin's clue anymore. There's an equal number of criminals in rows 4 and 5. We know about that. One number of criminals neighboring Karen. Yeah. What am I missing? What tells me who's who in here? Oh, did I dismiss Larry's clue without reading it? Sue has more criminal neighbors than Brian. Brian has 2 criminal neighbors, so Sue has to have 3. And she currently has 2. There's only one more person neighboring her. So Pam has to be a criminal. Olivia has to be an innocent. Now we don't need Larry's clue anymore. And Olivia tells us that exactly one innocent above Pam is neighboring Martin. So the only person that's above Pam that could be an innocent is Henry. So we know that Emily is a criminal, and that's it. Oh, I'm very sad about that stupid mistake. The yellow one. I wasn't supposed to get it wrong. I was doing so good because I was being so patient and cross-referencing everything, improving everything. But that's okay, we learn. And we do better tomorrow. And tomorrow's gonna be an easy one, so... yeah. I hope you had fun. If you did the puzzle, let me know how you did. And if you liked it, you can subscribe to the channel because I do Clues by Sam every single day. I come here and I play some other games sometimes. I do stream them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we can hang out together and talk. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. And I will see you next time.